Imagine waking up in a magnificent mansion in Beverly Hills, rich, privileged, yet trapped in an invisible hell. Lyle and Erik Menendez have the seemingly perfect life until they do the unthinkable in August 1989.
This is the Beverly Hills mansion, where in 1989, Erik and Lyle Menendez shot their parents to death while they were watching TV.
They brutally killed their parents. What followed was a media spectacle that divided America. Now, over 30 years later, Kim Kardashian is raising her voice for the two brothers and demanding their release. But why is a reality star standing up for two convicted murderers? Kim Kardashian has a mission. She wants to show that Lyle and Erik were victims of years of abuse and not the cold-hearted murderers they were portrayed as.
You know where I'm at in my life now, if I can influence people in other ways and just to take something that's close to their heart and use their platform to speak up, that's what's really important to me.
In this video, you'll learn all about the dark secrets of the Menendez family, the shocking murder, and why Kim Kardashian believes the brothers deserve a second chance. The murder and the night of the crime. The night of August 20th, 1989 would change the lives of the Menendez brothers forever. Armed with shotguns, Lyle and Erik entered their parents' living room and opened fire. Their father, José Menendez, was shot first. Several shots to the head and upper body left no doubt. It was an execution. Their mother, Kitty Menendez, tried to escape, but she was also brutally murdered. But what drove the two brothers to such a horrific act? Was it greed, as many thought at the time, or is there a deeper, darker truth behind it? The abuse and secret life of the Menendez family. Lyle and Erik claimed during their trial that they were sexually, physically, and emotionally abused by their father for years. The horrific details only came to light during the first trial in 1993. Erik explained that the abuse began when he was 6 years old. José Menendez, a successful Hollywood producer, was a respected and powerful figure on the outside, but behind closed doors, he was allegedly a monster. The mother, Kitty, was described by the brothers as complicit, as she not only ignored the abuse, but in some ways enabled it. These allegations divided the nation. Were the brothers really victims acting out of desperation, or had they just made up this story to save themselves from a life sentence in prison? The media portrayed them as cold-blooded murderers who killed their parents to collect their million-dollar inheritance. But this simple explanation is challenged by the gruesome reality of the abuse. The trial and the role of the media, but the image of the two spoiled rich boys who murdered their parents in cold blood was firmly ingrained in people's minds. The first trial ended without a verdict. The jury was divided. In 1996, at the second trial, the judge excluded much of the evidence of abuse. The jury had only a limited view of the events, and ultimately the brothers were convicted of double murder, life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. But many, including Kim Kardashian, believe the case was not handled fairly. Kim Kardashian's involvement, in addition to being a reality star, Kim Kardashian has also become a prominent advocate for criminal justice reform in recent years. She successfully fought for the release of Alice Johnson, a woman serving a life sentence for a nonviolent drug offense. Now she is campaigning for the Menendez brothers. In an essay published in October 2024, Kim explained that Lyle and Erik were not monsters, but broken men who were tormented by their father for years. She has visited and spoken to the brothers at the Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility in California. Kim describes the brothers as kind, honest, and remorseful. One of the prison guards even told her that he would feel comfortable if the two were his neighbors. Kim has studied the details of the case in depth and argues that the media hype surrounding the trial resulted in the brothers not being treated fairly. The abuse allegations were ridiculed by the public, and the brothers were portrayed in comedy sketches, such as those on Saturday Night Live, as spoiled rich kids who had murdered out of greed. Kim Kardashian's goal is to reopen the brothers' cases and seriously examine the abuse allegations. She argues that the justice system in the 1990s was unwilling to understand and acknowledge the complicated dynamics of sexual abuse within families. For Kim, the brothers are no longer a threat today. She is not calling for the murder to be forgotten or excused, but she believes that after more than 30 years in prison and a life of regret, the brothers deserve a second chance. In her essay, Kim explains that we owe the little boys who lost their childhood and were never heard the chance to finally get help. Her commitment is part of her larger mission to reform the U.S. justice system and give a voice to those who have been treated unfairly. The future of the Menendez brothers. The question of whether Lyle and Erik Menendez will ever leave prison remains uncertain. The case has gained new attention, not least thanks to Ryan Murphy's Netflix series, Monster, the Lyle and Erik Menendez story, which has put the murder case back in the spotlight. Kim's essay and her visits with the brothers could spark a new wave of interest in their case. Will the justice system respond to Kim Kardashian's appeal? Could the Menendez brothers get a parole hearing? One thing is certain, the public's perception of Lyle and Erik has already changed. What once seemed a simple case of murder for greed is now a symbol of the complexity of abuse, trauma, and the right to justice. Conclusion: Kim Kardashian has proven once again that she is more than just a reality TV icon. Her advocacy for the Menendez brothers shows that she is deeply concerned with the failings of the justice system and is willing to fight for what she believes is right. What do you think? Do Lyle and Erik deserve a second chance? Please subscribe to our channel to don't miss any crime case.